I'd heard about Asend from a colleague who works in another borough, and I was talking to her about some of the needs that we had in the school.
Well, I heard about Asend through a previous head teacher and who had done work with Barbara previously.
I knew of the work from a colleague, the work of Barbara Ball, and I'd taken on a school that was in special measures that needed urgent and rapid improvement.
Asend was recommended to us and the head teacher had made contact, and that's how we asked you to come into the school.
We found Asend through my head teacher, Dame Jo McVitie, who I believe heard about Asend through another head teacher.
I've come across Asend a few times now because with my role I'm an interim head, so I move around to different schools, and in several I've been fortunate to not actually work with Asend but see the product of their work. So I've been using the reports that have been produced and I found them really helpful.
But what was really good was that she then came and visited me, and we had a really good conversation where we unpicked exactly what the school needed.
She talked about all the amazing work that Asend did in ensuring that the quality of provision for our resource provision and our other children with special needs was catered for effectively.
As a school, we're always developing and reviewing our provision for our students because we want the best we possibly can give them, and we were at a point where we felt the provision for the students with special education needs needed reviewing.
I think what we wanted was an external view. I'd been in position for quite some time and wanted somebody from outside to really come in and look at what we were doing well and what we needed to improve. We had ideas of our own, and it was very satisfying in many ways that what was found by Asend was very much what we ourselves, our gut feeling was, but it was useful to have that external vision.
Barbara is very smart and knowledgeable, so she was able to listen carefully, whether she was working with me or with my colleagues or with parents, identify need and advise us on what Asend could provide.
I felt that the reports have been insightful. The work that's been done in the school has been thorough, and whoever's been in, yourself or other people, have gained a really good understanding of how the school functions, particularly around SEN and inclusion. And I think the guidance we've been given around the next steps have been really good.
They worked with us on a number of different things, including looking at our resource provision and looking at our SEN children. And we found the impact that had really ensure that we were providing the correct provision based on the needs of the children.
Asend really understood our needs in the sense that there was some really good preparation stuff done. We were able to talk through exactly how we would like the research doing, how we would like the feedback, where we would like there to be a focus.
Asend enabled staff at Lockswood Primary School to teach better for all children, because if you can meet the needs of children with special needs, you are usually a good and outstanding teacher. So there was an impact at whole school level in terms of the quality of teaching and learning. Asend also empowered staff by giving them a broader and deeper understanding of the pedagogy around working with children with special educational needs, and Asend empowered us to take on children who had very specific needs, who the school and the school hadn't met those needs, and the school was able to get a great deal of success with children who were struggling, and that was a fabulous feeling.
Asend are very easy to work with because they're so experienced. We had some needs in our inclusion area, and we had a consultant come into school, and she sat down with the inclusion leader and myself and really delved into the sorts of things that we perhaps needed, what we hadn't considered.
The first place I went to was Asend for their expert knowledge, because in the best will in the world, as a head teacher, my capacity to know all the in and out details of children with special needs can be limited, and I think the expert knowledge that Asend brought to the school helped us to move forward with the overall provision for our children.
And I found everyone I worked with extremely professional, easy to work with, and I learned an extreme amount, and the school was able to move forward with our provision for SEN really quickly.
Working with Asend was extremely easy. I think there was very good communication both in school, regular email contact. What we found was that they were able to modify, so it wasn't that they came in and said, you know, we're going to work in this way, and it was totally fixed. So I think that it felt like we were working in collaboration rather than you know, having something done to us, which is often what it can feel like if you have people from outside in.
The big focus that we asked Asend to look into was particularly our resource provision children, so our children with profound and multiple learning difficulties. These children come to us with extremely complex needs that actually only an expert can really give us the correct guidance and advice on. And I found that the professionals that work for Asend were able to do that in a very practical way. So they looked at the context of our school and also the challenges that our schools have, and were able to give us advice and guidance that we were able to put into place without having to make too many changes to the overall running of the school, which I found as a head teacher, it was very effective for us.
I'd certainly say Asend has had an impact in embedding good practice and developing it further. So I've been lucky again in the schools I've worked in. There's been lots of interesting stuff going along around SEN and inclusion, but these reports have helped sharpen our focus so that we've really been able to become quite laser sharp around how we make sure that no child is left behind and everyone's included.
I'd certainly use Asend again. I've recommended it to other colleagues and have spoken to the head of school improvement for Redbridge about how effective Asend has been. It's been really good value for money because it's meant that our focus has been able to be really specific on what we want to improve in the school.
The knowledge that Asend has and the practical advice they give us, I think, will be part of our strategic development and the future of the school.
We would definitely use Asend to support us with our SEN needs in the future.
I would definitely use Asend again. As I said, we are a school that are continually developing and continually reviewing our practice, and for me now Asend is part of the growth of our school.